Hey everybody! I bet you guys are getting really bored already on day 2 because you know I am. So we are going to make some art room videos throughout the weeks that we are gone here, and I hope that you guys will find them to be very fun. I'll try to do different levels. Some of them might be a little too hard for you, some might be a little too easy for you, but just go ahead and try your best, and you can ask your parents for help or whoever is watching you. I'm trying to pick stuff that is easy supply so you guys don't have to go out and buy something. But you know how much I love the color sticks. Let me get one out here, which all the kids know what these are. But I'm pretty sure you can buy them at Michael's or maybe even Joann's. I don't think you can get these at Walmart or Target. But I do like to use these a lot. Otherwise, I have colored pencils and crayons and markers that we'll be using too. But we're gonna start out easy. We're gonna just need a piece of regular paper, and colored pencils, crayons, or markers will work for this, so whatever you have. Obviously a pencil, and then a black Sharpie, which all the kids know that I like to Sharpie everything before we color it. They might find that annoying, but just what I do. We are going to be doing Hei Hei from Moana. So if you're interested, stay tuned because it is coming up next. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye. We're first going to start with the eyes. So you're going to make 2 large circles in the middle of your paper. If you need to, find something in your house that would be in the shape of a circle if you have troubles making a circle. Make sure you leave a space apart. The eyes are not touching. Now we're going to make a nose, pretty much like a rounded upside down triangle. In between the 2 eyes is his little nose dangle. And right up by his eyes are his eyebrows. And they go in, kind of like a forward C and a backward C. Now let's finish out the eyes. We're going to do a small circle with a tinier circle on the inside. And his eyes are kind of going in different directions. You have one going at the top, one going at the bottom. Now we're going to finish off the top of his head. Make it rounded, not pointed. And it connects those 2 little eyebrows. Now you're going to go from the left side of the eye and wrap it to his nose, or not his nose, but his little gobbler. In between the 2 gobblers and up to the other eye. And now in between there, I'm going to make his skinny neck, and we're going to wrap it around so that it makes part of his body. So make sure you make it long enough. You're going to go out and down. Now you can connect those 2 together. We're going to make a little bit of zigzags of different sizes to represent his fur and his tiny little feathers in the front, kind of like his wings. Now we're going to do his tail. His tail is a weird shape. It's kind of like straight lines instead of one nice curved line. So we're going to go out, over, and down, and then curve it back in. So out, over, down, curve it back in. And then the last one is a little bit different. We're going to curve it and then make some zigzags back to his tail. I made 3 of them. Now we're going to finish out his legs. So we're going to go straight down, over, and up. It's going to make like almost like a square with a line in the middle. Now you're going to go down, make part of his feet, just the top. And if you do those both sides, you can connect it with a straight line at the bottom. And I connected that line that I made all the way down, and then I connected straight across. Make sure you pause this video and fix your mistakes as you go. Now we're going to make the top part of his head. I go up, around. Now we're going to bring it in, and it's different sizes, so it's kind of like a wavy line going back and forth of different sizes. Now next we're going to grab our Sharpie and start to Sharpie the entire thing. Now that you're done sharpening, you're going to use your eraser either on your pencil or eraser like I have and erase away all the extra pencil lines. We do this in class, so you guys are pretty used to it. So go ahead and start erasing all those pencil lines. Make sure you brush away all those extra eraser pieces because they'll get in the way of your coloring if you don't. Now we're going to go ahead and grab what colors we're going to be using. I'm going to be using colored pencils. I like to use them because they're good for shading. You can use markers, crayons, or paint. We're going to be using red, yellow, orange. Give me a second to get the blue. And finally, green. So I'm going to start up at the top of his thing that sticks out of his head. I like to use colored pencils like I said before so that I can shade. So I'm going to start and go ahead on the side and I'm going to make kind of a shadow. So once I start coloring in a little bit lighter, I'm going to keep going over the same spot a little bit harder to make it darker. And then as I get closer to the right side of the topper of his head, then I'm going to be doing a little bit lighter than I did on the left side. You can go ahead and color this all in solid red if you want to, but if you want to get a little bit more creative, you can go from light to dark. Now I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video, and I might give you a few little tips and pointers on the way, but go ahead and finish coloring the rest of your Hei Hei. Right underneath Hei Hei's eyes are actually like a very light purple color, so I'm leaving a tiny bit of space in between the eye and the red, so that later on I will go back in using purple. First use a little bit of yellow, and then when I go in back with my orange, I fade the orange into the yellow. So I'll press a little darker in between the little pointed parts, and as I blend it into the yellow, I'll get a little bit lighter, just because his fur goes from orange to yellow. And I'll put a little bit of extra orange into the feet. I started coloring most of it in blue, except I'm going to be using a little bit of light green to make it that teal color that Hei Hei has, which is a bluish green. So I'm going to go through and lightly put some green on spots and into his tail and on his legs. And then later on I will go back through with that same blue colored pencil and go over top of it so I can blend it just a little bit more. I did use a color stick in this just because it was that light yellow green that I wanted, but if you don't have one of those, you don't need to use it.